And it's live. Cool. So did it show up as live on your side?
Oh, yeah. It's
All
turned on the
cool.
live. Yeah.
Sweet. So, all right. So we agreed on the topic of school in general. First things first. What exactly is it that you are majoring in?
Economy.
Okay. Is there a reason why you chose this topic? Was it just convenient? Was it something you were interested in?
Actually, it's easy to graduate. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, graduation requirements. I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned that you aren't originally from Hawaii, correct?
From Korea? Or
From Hawaii?
me? Originally from Hawaii?
So you're not from Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not from the. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you end up going to the University of Hawaii? Like, how did you end up in this course specifically, or just in general? How did you end up taking classes at UH?
When I was in high school, the UH principal came to my high school. So
In Korea.
Yeah, he suggests to come to UH.
Okay.
So I study and take some tests, and then I just to UH.
All right. So was it like a study abroad program for you, or did you just straight go to the University of Hawaii?
I have a program.
Okay. So they had like an exchange student program?
No, just for international students.
Okay.
Program.
National student program through. Who did you say came and talked to you about that?
UH principal.
Okay.
Actually, it was KCC.
Oh, KCC? Okay. Yeah, I know KCC has a very big international program.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was at KCC for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we had a bunch of students from Korea, Japan, China.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. My dog's
Okay.
out. Okay. So you were saying that he approached you to attend UH, and that you ended up at KCC. How? Talk me through the process. So he talked to you about attending UH, and then you took tests and you applied for the program. How did that whole transition happen from you getting accepted to you actually physically attending school?
Actually, it's really easy. Like, if I take a TOEFL test, if it's upper the 70 points, then pass. If lower than that, then non-pass. So that was all, actually. And then, yeah, go to KCC and placement tests. But yeah, I think that was all.
Okay, so I was more referring to things outside of school. So living, Did you have an apartment? Did you live with a host family?
You mean in Hawaii or in
Yes,
Korea?
in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
Mhm.
I live in dorm at
Okay.
first. And then I move on the apartment with 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the difference in time zones,
Mm-hmm.
how do you manage your time? I know we've tried to set up this interview for a few days now, and I know that it is difficult when we're on complete opposite sides of the world. So, what do you do specifically to maintain that time schedule? Like, do you schedule, like, I'm assuming you work in Korea right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you make sure your schedule allows for time to take classes, or do you just kind of try and fit it in wherever you can? Like, is there a specific time allotted to school as opposed to you just doing it when you can?
Actually, normally I just do so quickly, so I never care about the time. So
Okay.
when the came out, then just finish it right now. Like that.
So you complete. Good, good. It's good that you have that self-control. I don't.
Oh.
All right. So going back to your major specifically, I know you mentioned that the reason why you chose it was that it was easy to graduate. But do you have plans on using it, or are you going to pursue a different subject for, like, say, your master's, or even like a career? Or are you going to look into being an economist, or are you going to branch off and do like some other form of work?
Actually, I already used in Korea. Actually, I worked like 6 months in a bank.
Oh,
okay. Actually, I have been military, so after that, I don't have a graduation paper or something. But I could get a job in bank.
Yeah.
I just said I'm majoring like economy, and then okay, you hired. And
Okay.
so I think bank. My goal is to go to bank though. Not sure yet.
Okay.
I have to study more. So.
So we're going to dive a little deeper into what you feel specifically about this. How did you feel about attending a university in the United States as opposed to in Korea? Like, what really stood out about that to you? So, like, was it like the people? Was it the lifestyle? What was different, basically?
actually everything is different. Lifestyles, people, and there has lots of like diversity. Ancient, like there's so many people like white guys, black guys, or Asian guys. So the culture is different, and lifestyle like Korea has like respect words, and we have to respect like older people. Like we have to say different. We have to, but America doesn't have a like respect word. I guess there's not so many. So it was more easier to hang out with older people. I guess like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Is it right answer about your question?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect because the reason why I asked that was, and I'm glad you brought up that topic, was same thing with Filipinos.
Oh.
I'm Filipino, so we do have words for our elders. Like your older brother and your older sister aren't just brother and sister, you know?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm sure that there are the same things in like Korean where you have a word for your grandma, like a form of respect for your grandma, and it's not just grandma, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from because, like I said, Filipinos have the exact same concept.
Oh.
Yeah, words, words of respect. Yeah. That is a big difference in American culture as opposed to Asian cultures. I've found that Asian cultures tend to respect their elders a lot more. Everything's yes, mom, no, mom.
Oh, yeah.
just like in Korea, I'm sure. We don't call your parents by like first names. Yeah. Okay, so how did all that make you feel? Like with it being that different, did that make you feel like, did that give you positive feelings, negative feelings? Did it kind of feel uncomfortable at first? Like how did that affect what you felt about just American society?
At first, it was so afraid, I guess. Like, about to me, there was foreign people, so everyone in Hawaii. So it's really hard to talk each other. But after the times, I could talk because I could use English. So it's getting good, I guess. Like I don't know how to say it like more sophistically, but
so the way that I'm understanding is you've become a little more comfortable. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you've gotten to the point now where you understand the culture a little more. So you're a little more comfortable and you understand where, like, I know Asian cultures don't have as many, like, we don't have the same phrases, like idioms. So, like, it's a little hard to understand when when someone says it's as hard as a rock.
Oh yeah.
Like, an idea can't be hard physically, but it could be difficult or tough. So I can see, like, do you see what I'm trying to get at? Like, with you having a better understanding of like language in general. Yeah. Is that what you're trying to get at? Like you're a little more comfortable, a little more confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Okay, that's perfect. So while going to school at KCC and UH, did that match what expectations you had for it? Like, did it live up to what you expected it to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, in what way, though?
Maybe like about the study, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I never expected about. I don't have any expected about
Okay.
university, so.
So you didn't have any sort of expectation. You just kind of went into it with an open mind to a new experience. Yeah.
I just interest about hang out with friends, like the other type of people. Like, I had interest about that, not about the school stuff.
That's actually my next question. Awesome. Okay. So you didn't really have expectations, yeah?
Yeah.
What you said? You were just more interested in the culture.
People.
Like
Culture, yeah.
You were more interested in learning new things rather than what you had originally thought it was to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like kind of, or
maybe culture, like actually, you know what? Korea doesn't have a lot of like gender, like kind of that things, like gay or lesbians. I never seen before in Korea, and it was my first time in my life.
So that was extremely surprising, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gender differences. Cool. Okay. Yeah, especially in Hawaii, with it being such a liberal state, it tends to be more prominent in society, like as opposed to, say, like Texas. It's not really seen as much. Yeah. Okay. So, but we're gonna backtrack a little. You said that you were more interested in hanging out with friends than school. Yes. I can also completely relate to that. I did nothing but hang out with friends when I was at the university. What did you, living in Hawaii, what did you typically do on your free time? So like what routines did you have? What hobbies? What activities were you into? Like did you go like explore outdoors a lot, or did you go to like a lot of bars, or like what did you enjoy doing?
Usually I play the guitar.
Okay.
Guitar, and I drink so many soju.
Right.
Do you know soju?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. And the big watermelon, yeah.
What?
Yeah. You pour soju and watermelon. Like you carve out the watermelon and you pour soju in it. You put 7-Up.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you play the guitar. You drank lots of soju. Jealous.
Yeah.
Like, was there anything else? Did you like say go on hike?
Oh.
Did you go to like beaches and like do the typical Hawaii thing, or did you just kind of?
Actually, I was not that much active person, so I just play the pool. Pool, and you know the 24 Fitness. 24 Fitness is front of Don Quixote. in Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Usually I exercise in there. After that, I just play the pool. It is just next to the store. So
Was it Dave's, right?
billiard, I guess.
Yeah.
Was
Dave's Billiard, or is was it Dave's? Hawaiian, was it Hawaiian Bryant's?
Oh yeah, Hawaiian Bryant's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
you
is
really
that
mind that?
person? He's just Korean. He drinks a lot. He plays pool. Like, he'd rather hang out with his friends than go to school, like, with the same person.
Everybody would rather hang out with their friends than go to school. That doesn't count. It's not valid.
Okay. So you played pool a lot, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Playing pool though does count.
Okay. So with all your experience in Hawaii, how, like, with you spending time with people who weren't from Korea, how did that affect your understanding of a different culture, or like, how did that affect your view on the world in general?
I usually hang out with Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and local guys.
Yeah. Okay.
So normally there was Hawaiian or Japanese, so I could understand the culture about both things. Like, yeah, but China was a little hard to understand. So
Chinese were the Chinese, yeah.
yeah,
Chinese were busy.
It was hard.
Yeah. Okay. So did it like change your views on these other cultures, or did you feel the same? Like,
there's many different things, I guess. Actually, normally, like, Korea has a PC room. Do you know what it is? Like,
what was that?
PC room.
No.
It's like there are so many computers on.
Oh yeah.
Stores, and they play like LOL or video game, not video games,
the
online games.
Like they call them like LAN parties. Yeah.
LAN parties.
Yeah. So like you have a bunch of computers on the same server.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys are all playing together in whatever game or whatever.
But I've never seen in Japan or Hawaii. So actually, Korea has a lot of stores like that.
Okay.
So first time I couldn't understand how they play something I like. Actually, I felt like nothing to do. So when I hang out with the local guys, they smoke a lot, play a lot. I think they normally smoke a lot.
Okay. Nice. Good. So I'm assuming you lived in Hawaii for, say, the entire semester. How did you being away from Korea affect your relationships back home? Are you married?
No.
Do you have kids?
No.
You have siblings?
Siblings? No.
So brothers, sisters?
Oh yeah, I have one sister.
What was that?
I have one sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you still live with your parents, or do you still see your parents?
Right now I'm living with my parents.
Okay. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have no?
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you being away affect your relationships with these people? For you specifically, how did it affect your relationship with your parents? Also, how did it affect your relationship with your sister? Like, are you too close? Like, how did that?
Actually, when I was in Hawaii, I just keep text or call to my parents or sisters. So maybe not really feel move away. Like so we still close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you stayed in contact enough to maintain that relationship, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So no relationship really suffered. You didn't really lose contact of relatives or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Good.
So with these new experiences and different experiences, how did this help you develop as a person? So what I mean by that is, what changed about you since attending school in Hawaii?
Maybe I guess the how visible I don't know. When I just stay in Korea, I never know about the Japanese or Chinese or the other countries' cultures people.
Mm-hmm.
But Hawaii has so many different people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if I just stayed in Korea, I never have planned to travel the other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when I stayed in Hawaii, I have many travel like China or Taiwan, Japan or
Yeah.
mainland,
Mm-hmm.
because I had so many friends in there. So when I
Yeah.
have had a chance, I had a many travel. So I think that kind of stuff. If I just stayed in Korea, I never know and I never go that countries.
Okay. Good. Yeah. There are a lot of people in Hawaii who are this exact same way.
Oh yeah.
They've never been anywhere but Hawaii, and then they're like, "Oh, I've never seen anything," and I'm like, that's ridiculous. But it's true. Like, you have people who have never traveled to different states. You're in the same country, but you've never traveled outside of state Florida. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So yeah. So good. Are you satisfied with the knowledge and experience you gained? Like, are you happy with the experiences you've had?
Yes.
Yeah. Did it like
How to explain about this?
did it was it worth your time and effort?
Oh.
Yeah, like it's kind of the same as what I was talking about earlier. Like, did it match your expectations of going?
Mm-hmm.
But in this sense, it's more along the lines of, are you content, or are you happy with the experiences you've had?
Yeah. Actually, first times in Hawaii,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't see my graduate, so it was not feels good. But right now, next year May, I gonna graduate, so I'm really satisfied about this. it's really close to graduate, so.
Okay. So I know you kind of had a rough time sometimes in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Like, was there ever a moment that you wanted to go home? Like you just didn't want to finish your degree and you just wanted to go back home and be with people you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was there a specific instance?
Actually, if I just go back to Korea, so I wanted to go back to Korea because like there are so many friends. So I know like until like 10 years. So
Yeah.
But if I just go back to Korea, then I have nothing in here. Like
Yeah.
I don't have any degree in here. I don't have any job or anything. So if I just quit my degree or like school stuffs, then I feel like, oh, that is my end of my life. I feel like that. So I had to finish it, and after that I have to think about that.
Yeah, you just had to just get it done.
Oh yes.
Just get it done. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay. Who did you have any other, like, did you have any comments or questions or anything like that from me?
Oh, you finished 15 questions?
Yeah, like, is there anything else you wanted to add to that interview, or are you pretty good?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna ask you questions.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your major?
I am a psychology major.
Psychology.
Yes.
So if you graduate the psychology, then what kind of job you can get?
So with psychology, it gets a little complicated because in order to be a true psychologist, if you wanted to do like clinical psychology or anything like that, you have to get your master's and eventually your PhD. The only thing you can really do with just a bachelor's in psychology is be like a counselor of some sort.
Counselor?
Yeah. So not necessarily can you practice psychology just like a doctor would. Like a doctor can't just start operating on whoever they want. They have to go to med school and everything. So it's the same thing with psychology. You have to get your PhD. You have to get certified by the state. So yeah, you can be a counselor, but you can't actually be like a therapist, if that makes sense, or like a psychiatrist.
No.
Yeah. So it takes a lot more school if you want to go beyond that. So with just a bachelor's, yeah, you can't really do much.
So it depends on what want to be, like counselor or doctor or professor or something.
Exactly.
So next question is, how much time does it take to graduate your major? Like, so it could be different because about the counselor or doctor, like that. So normally how? Oh yeah.
For your bachelor's, it's typically only 4 years. And then depending on how long you want to take with your master's, you're looking at roughly 2 to 4 years on top of that. So you can, in school, you can be at about like 8 years.
Oh.
That's if you take your time. And then you have your PhD or getting your doctorates, which is another like 2 to 3. depending on how long it takes for your thesis and everything. That's completely at your pace. So you're looking at about roughly 8 to 12 years of school.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's quite a long time. And then when you do graduate, when you do graduate, you still have to establish like a reputation, and you have to follow up with research, and it's a very time consuming process. So with your basic bachelor's, 4 years.
So next question, what do you feel is good point in your major? Like positive, like what can you learn? Like that?
Yeah. I've always been social. So
social.
Yeah, I don't really have as much a problem with talking to people. But being a psychology major, I'm more aware of like mannerisms. So like body language, things I say, things I do. You become more aware of empathetic feelings. So like what this interview is about is we're looking into understanding each other and our feelings towards certain things, right? That's basically all psychology is. If you're gaining a better understanding of someone else. So psychology has been very useful for me specifically, like with work, it's been beneficial with handling problems, with getting to know people, with utilizing individuals for certain tasks. Like it's been great knowing that I have a better understanding of people in general.
Okay. So what is the hardest point in your degree, like in your major? Like what is negative? Like,
so the hardest thing about it it's not even the degree itself. It's more having the motivation to finish. Yeah, because for me personally, like I said, like I've been a fairly social person my entire life. But I am terrible at school. Like I'm really bad at school. So I actually started my degree in 2009. So I was a freshman in 2009. I was in school for roughly 5 years. And then I stopped. I didn't finish my degree. I just left school. I dropped out. And then I finally went back the beginning of this year, so 2018. So I left in 2014, went back 2018, and now I'm just summer semester away from graduating.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the end of the semester, I graduate. So for me personally, the hardest thing about my degree is being able to get through school itself, is having the focus and the motivation to finish. It's hard to do when you take a 4-year break.
So, and next question. So, do you like your school life? If not, then why?
So I liked being at school for, like I said, the social aspect of it. I spent a lot of time at ballet at the bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time there. A lot of time, a lot of money.
Kind of, it's not called cafeteria. How to say that? Like, there has some sandwiches, right? Like next to the library.
The bar, yeah.
Yeah.
The bar that's attached to the sandwich place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went there a lot.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah. So the social aspect was good. Sorry, what was the question again? Totally spaced on it.
Do you like your school life, and why?
Yeah. Okay. So when I was physically in school, I didn't enjoy going to class, but I enjoyed being around people.
Oh.
Yeah. Now with in total I've taken 7 classes online so far. It's both easy and hard, because it's easy because the work itself isn't hard. The work itself is straightforward. There's no guesswork involved. It's easy, for me at least. But the hard part is balancing it with my job, with my wife, with my daughter. Like taking 4 classes on top of working a full-time job, on top of caring for a 6, 7, 8-month-year-old. She's still a baby, so I can't just let her run around the house, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's hard trying to find the time to do schoolwork. Like, just to do this alone, she's been sick for the past like 3 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've been having to not just deal with this class, but 2 other classes. So I've had to, like, just yesterday I took an exam. I had a 50-question exam. The day before that, I had to write a 3-page paper.
Oh.
It's just, the work piles up. It doesn't matter how far in advance I finish it, it'll still pile up on the back. And it's just, if it's not schoolwork, it's my job. If it's not my job, it's my family. And it's just, the hardest part for me is finding that balance, is finding the time. Yeah, balance is the biggest thing. Is you can't just sit and study all day, you know? Yeah, so that's my big problem right now.
So next question. I think you can choose the other school, other university, like any mainland university.
What was that?
But why? I think you can choose to go the other university, like in mainland. But why you choose the Hawaii University?
So I was originally planning on going to UCLA, the University of California in Los Angeles. And then I decided that I wanted to join the Air Force. So I didn't apply for colleges. I didn't take my SATs, ACTs. I didn't do anything to prepare for college. It wasn't until my dad talked me into going to college. He's like, hey, I'll pay for it. You can live at home. I'll take care of you. I was like, all right, cool. But by that time, it was already too late to apply for other colleges because I'd already graduated high school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the deadlines had already passed, like they've been long gone. So the next time that I would have to apply was the following year. And I was like, no, like I'll just go to KCC, the Kapi'olani Community College. And I was like, well, if I go here, at least if I plan on staying, if I plan on pursuing a degree, I can just transfer my credits to the university. And that was it. It was either I spend 3 times as much to go to a school in California, because I wanted to be in Southern California, whether it was San Diego or Los Angeles.
Yes.
Or I suck it up and I stay in Hawaii and I just get through, you know? So, yeah, that's what I ended up doing.
Okay. So, next question. So easy. How many times you go to school usually in a week?
Never.
Never.
I don't physically go to a school, no.
Just for now, right?
Huh?
Just for now, in summer section.
Yeah. So, before, when I was at the university, I was taking 4 to 5 classes a week, or 4 to 5 classes a semester. So I would be at school every day.
Every day?
Every day. I don't think I've ever had, I've never had a day off, like during the semester. So I'll have like a class Monday, Wednesday, and then I'll have another class Tuesday, Thursday, and then I'll have another class like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'll have a class just on Friday. So, yeah, I would be at school every day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's...
I only spend 3 days for school though, in a weeks. Wow.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, there's a reason why I was in school in 2009, which is 9 years ago, and why I don't have my degree yet. So my GPA was really bad, and the only way to get it back up was to take classes. The only way was to take classes, pass them, and just there was no time to, like, I thought about it. I was like, well, I can just take 1 or 2 classes this semester. I can take like 1 class Monday, Wednesday, and just that be it. Like, no, I just didn't have time, because I'm 27 now and I still don't have my bachelor's degree, even though I have like 134 credits. You know, so it's a lot of sacrifice. Like I get that. I could have just spent like 2-3 classes a semester, but it made sense to me at the time. I was a student. I might as well spend all my time at school. So, yeah.
Okay. So next question. It's a little weird question though. Like, do you think your school supporting well about your major, about like materials or environment, or about your pathway, like to get a job or informations, that kind of stuff?
So, like, how did the school like support
to you, like to get a job, to give you any informations, like about companies, relating companies, or any kind of that?
So I know that those programs do exist. I personally haven't looked into any of them because I don't intend on using my degree. Psychology was more of a stepping stone to become an officer in the Air Force. So not necessarily did I want to be a psychologist, but more that I wanted to have a degree in order to commission. But there are I know that there are programs that are allotted to psychology majors. So like they have like research programs to help write your thesis. Like they have several programs that like I had a teacher before. He studied intelligence in dolphins in Hawaii. He was a part of the, like specifically, he was a part of the dolphins' ability to learn through hearing. So he studied specifically the capabilities of dolphins with sonar, with picking up clicks, like so sonar in dolphins, and how they learn to perform tasks or how they learn certain things about their environment. It was interesting to know that. And then on the other hand, you have people who want to just be teachers. They don't want to do research. They don't want to spend time looking through like research articles and all that. They just want to teach. So they have those programs as well. So the University of Hawaii does have a pretty good psychology program relative to the rest of the United States, just like our astronomy program, because we have the telescope on Big Island.
Yeah,
it's one of the most powerful in like the world. It's the same thing with psychology in that we are, like you had mentioned earlier, Hawaii is such a diverse culture. There's so much that goes on in Hawaii that it allows psychological researchers to go out into the community. They don't have to travel to another country to learn about the Chinese. They don't have to travel to another country to learn about Koreans, Japanese, Filipinos, the Vietnamese. Like they're all there. You know, they might be a little Americanized, but those individuals can contact people back home, just like people like yourself. Like if a psychologist were to come up to you and be like, hey, do you have relatives in Korea? Oh, cool. Would you be okay with me talking to them about this? Like, yeah, sure. You become a window for them. You become a way to communicate to the actual country itself. So, you know, it's a lot easier to do that as opposed to living in like Kansas, where you don't see any Asians whatsoever. You know, like you live in a big farm town, you're not gonna see anybody but a white guy. So the University of Hawaii does provide a number of opportunities for psychology majors, but like I said, I personally just don't utilize them.
So next question. Actually, there's a final question though. Actually, you already answered about this.
What's that?
So what is necessary abilities for your major? Well, you already answered. Like there needs like manners, balance. No. What was that? Oh, there's no. What is necessary abilities for your major?
being able to remain objective. So objective as in not letting your own personal feelings or your own personal emotions cloud your judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So as a researcher, you observe a particular behavior and you make your determination on whether that behavior was caused by whatever variable, but you need to be able to keep your own opinions out of that research.
Oh.
So a big thing in psychology is being able to remain objective, because once you start throwing in, oh, well, this is how I personally feel about that, your evidence is no longer valid. Even though you may have performed the research properly, now people don't know if you came up with that answer because it's something you've actually seen or it's something you wanted to happen, you know? So being objective, being open-minded, so accepting information as it is and not judging it for what it is, but receiving information, understanding it for what it is, and applying it to your just repertoire of knowledge.
So, next question. What was your boring memories in your school?
You say boring?
Yeah.
I
just squeezed my questions.
Boring memories. I had a professor. He was a what was it? Neuropsychologist. So psychology and how it's processed in the brain itself. The guy talked like this, and this is all he would ever say, and there was never any sort of emotion. It was a terrible class. It was at I think 8:30 in the morning. So it's fairly early. This guy had no emotion whatsoever, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. It was bad. It was bad. I had a couple of those teachers actually. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the most boring point in my.
Okay. This is the last question.
Okay.
What do you satisfied about your major?
Am I satisfied with it?
Yeah. How do you feel it?
Good. I had, so originally when I first started going to school, I was supposed to be a mechanical engineer.
Oh, and?
I took the placement exam at KCC, and apparently, somehow, I don't know how, they screwed me out of taking calculus, even though I had taken calculus in high school. So they're like, hey, sorry, you only placed in Algebra 1. I was like, there's no way. I took Algebra 1 in 6th grade. So by the time I graduated from high school, I was already taking trigonometry, pre-calc, calculus. There's no reason. I even took physics in my junior year of high school, and I was like, there's no reason why. And yeah, Like, no, sorry, you only scored this high. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? And they're like, well, that means you have to take this math class. So I had to take like an extra 6 math classes. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed my major and I changed it to psychology, and I've been satisfied thus far. Like I'm happy that I did, because it did teach me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about the people around me. It gave me a better understanding of people in general. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Good.
We all finished.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool. So I'm going to upload this. Like once I hit stop broadcast, it'll upload to YouTube.
Please send me a link.
Yeah. Give me about 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes. So last time with my last partner, we had an hour and 16-minute video. Our interview. Something went wrong and it only uploaded 3 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the reason why we had to redo it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because our teacher, like Will, he was like, hey, just redo the interview, but use the second interview. I was like, all right, cool. So we redid it, and when I was uploading it, at first it only uploaded 30 minutes. Again, we did like an hour 15 or hour 16-minute video, and I was like, it did it again. Great. But I gave it some time, and it eventually loaded the entire video. So I'm going to take screenshots of everything just to have proof that we did it, that we did it in this amount of time. But when I do get it uploaded, I will send you that link, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Take care.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.